not the best in Division I.
Absolutely, led by Charlie Johnson, who had 33 caused turnovers a season ago, established himself as a top 5 shutdown defender in the country. The one-on-one matchup with Steins is going to be a doozy.
Tyler Kloeckl and Cal Girard at the Faceoff X. Kloeckl in the black for Utah, the ASUN preseason specialist of the year. And the faceoff won by the senior from Lakeville, Minnesota. It's one thing you'll see with this Utah team. They've got Ortlieb and Scoletti, part of the top 3 recruiting class, both 5-star freshmen, both top 20 recruits. And Duke 2 for 2 in terms of possessions. And they'll go to work. 19 in white, Ben Johnston, an All-American midi last year. They have bumped him.
You're going to press outside. Utah is really concerned about Sloat, really concerned about Johnson. So the middle and Liam Curtis is wide open on the extra man.
First offensive possession for Utah right off the faceoff. It's turned aside. Yeah, in the seat.
He's got tremendous wrists. When you talk to head coach Andrew McMahon, he just loves his finishing ability, and they're continuing to have his game evolve, but he is a lefty finisher that knows how to find the back of the net.
Kark, Utah's got a few of those guys, lefties.
I counted 6 guys in their regular offensive rotation who are lefties when I was breaking down tape. And McNamara, the 5 goals against Delaware.
Lacrosse is a D1 program, on paper, the best team they've ever had.
Without question. And they've also regularly scheduled Notre Dame as a scrimmage early in the season. They played in South Bend a couple weeks ago. This team is battle tested. To take Len Skold to play ridiculous in the cage, and for Sloat and Johnston to be a little off in terms of the way they spray their shots, because they're getting them.
There's Ben Johnston, a second team.
A great teammate of mine, and he was an incredible player on that 1995 national championship team. Midfielder of the year, Team USA player, a multi-time All-Pro, and member of the U.S. Lacrosse Hall of Fame, and a great friend of mine. I've seen Colsey's got 2, and you love the release too. When you give him that much time, that much room, it's the little giddy up, and then the stick goes back and the full torque, and it's good night.
Matt Christmas vacuums the ground ball. Last year, Christmas scored 8 goals.
Defense is allowing this offense to grow up, and if this offense percolates the way that we think it can with the skill level of the Scolettis and the Ortliebs and the Colseys and the Dragos, freshman eligibility-wise.
Face-off won by Utah, another turnover. Utah has been sloppy. They do not have a shot in this second quarter.
That he stayed north-south to keep his angle. You know, we talked to John Danowski about the sub game, and when you have 10-man ride, you take your goalie out, you press, it's the full court. But if you find that seam in your Utah, it's go time. You have to capitalize on any misstep in the 10-man with Duke, because if you don't.
Ribs, he played through an ankle injury all season. He had to change his game, so he became a feeder, and his numbers essentially were an inverse, 23 goals, but 40 assists.
The other piece too, Anish, is they've been employing the 10-man ride of their own, so they're practicing against it. So now they have that common ground in terms of when other teams throw it at them.
Face-off violation on Utah.
A lot of these looks by Duke is Matt Danowski and Ron Caputo, the co-offensive coordinators. They are finding spots for their shooters to have step downs with great shooting angles. You're not seeing any poor angled shots by Duke tonight. It's either Len Skold make to become the cutter, and Chalmers knows a thing or two about finishing inside with his box lacrosse background. But then again, it's Steins, the quarterback. And last year's injury was a blessing in disguise for him, because he became that cerebral passer in these. the substitution box, and Menke smelled an opportunity with no defensive pressure, and it was just lights out.
A goal, 2 assists for Menke. Girard off the face-off win. Johnston for Andrew McMinn. What's the pathway back into this game for Utah?
I think it's a lot of picks and finding the two-man game and freeing up Steins maybe on a short stick. You know about DePonio, but you got Flanagan as well. These are poles that can handle, so take a little bit of a risk offensively with them. Trap the offensive midfielder from Duke, but also it's okay if your poles like DePonio or Flanagan are taking chances. You're going to have to take a risk to get back in this one. You're not beating them, but you feel like they're going to get a shot off every single time they're on the offensive zone. And this team is interesting. This is a team that I think has tremendous. I talked to a former Syracuse player, Kevin Kelly, who's the coach at Division II Rockhurst in Kansas, and said McNamara was a lacrosse. Easy sailing for the Utes.
He was an all-ACC goalie last year. Girard off the face-off win. Throws it away.
It skips off the turf like you when you were a kid in the back creeks of New Jersey throwing rocks.
Easy now. We didn't have creeks where I lived. You threw rocks, you might hit something or someone.
I think have been really good tonight. They've checked that box.
Kark, you put together your PLL big board every year, so I'll pose you the question now, and it's early, you can change your mind.
But not cradling.
John Danowski raved about Ortlieb's IQ for a freshman.
I would love to see the amount of touches and the increases in Ben Johnson's game from midfield to attack. And that's what you want for your best player. Have the ball in his stick.
In college basketball, they have usage rate, right? We need to get usage rate. Here's McGuire.